Good morning, everyone, or afternoon. Happy Valentine's Day. I decided that today I'm going to make a special video for Valentine's Day. I wanted to talk about love, as that is the subject of Valentine's Day. And I've been meaning to make a video on this, but here I am. It's actually the perfect time. To start, at its foundation, love is something that comes from within and is incredibly hard to describe with words. We talk about what outward appearances, what it looks like. Sometimes we talk about the feelings we get, or the words you say, or the actions you do. But at the end of the day, it is an internal feeling that you then send out in some form to someone else or to yourself. So, when it comes to love, I think it's important to remember that even if you do not feel love from others, you can always feel love from yourself. Sometimes it's really hard to feel that. And I think when you struggle to feel your own love, and it's always there in the background, it's just sometimes buried or closed off or denied. Why do we deny our own love or the love of others? Well, I think that fundamentally comes down to maybe not forgiving yourself for specific things that you may have done in the past, or not feeling worthy, letting the mind kind of talk yourself into ignoring the love that's always been there. And this love is an unconditional love. That's why it's always there. Regardless of what you do, you will still love yourself. Even if you're feeling in your mind like you don't deserve it. So, if you're not feeling love, I would ask you to really look into yourself and see what are you doing to put up barriers that are stopping you from feeling that unconditional love. And once you kind of hone in on it, you need to forgive yourself. You need to let go. And understand that it's okay to love yourself. It is. It's okay to feel love. Doesn't matter what you've done. Doesn't matter what you said. Doesn't matter the actions you've taken. Each and every one of you deserves to be loved. And that's why it's always there. Even when sometimes you feel like you don't deserve it. So, extending this past just yourself, throughout our lives, when dealing with other people, most times we have this conditional love that we kind of give towards others, where it's, I love this person because they're in a certain space with certain people during certain time, and you really enjoy their company. And then later, maybe something happens, and maybe you're not so good friends or family or whatever it is, and suddenly you're like, you know what? They don't deserve the love that I'm giving them. And so you take it back. And I would say conditional love is a precursor to unconditional love, but it's more of like a learning tool, a training tool, where you can love certain aspects of someone, but maybe not all of them. And that's where the problem is. That's the distinction between conditional and unconditional. Is you can love the good things that someone does, but the moment someone does something that goes against your perception of who that person is, or the moment someone does something that crosses a moral boundary you have, suddenly the love shifts into hate or frustration or anger, betrayal. These are all things that you can feel in the moment, where it's like, how could they do this? I don't understand. They were this person in my head. Why did they do this thing that's not like that person? And this is the limitation of conditional love. If you go through your life conditionally loving people, you will come to find that everyone has free will. And sometimes people will do things that don't align with your vision or version of them. Because at the end of the day, even the most important people in your lives, you see a snippet of their life. You can't expect someone to fully know you, even if you spend all day with them. Because at the end of the day, they're not you. You're a unique being, just like them. So, because of that, I think it's important to extend past conditional love and go into the realm of unconditional love, where you see them as a unique being just like you are. And just like there's unconditional love inside for yourself, you can extend that unconditional love to other people because you love that unique person. And that includes the things that you may not agree with or that cross lines, boundaries, all of them. Now, when things like that happen, where someone crosses a line or a boundary that you're not okay with, unconditional love isn't loving the action that they did. Because you can love someone, but also say, hey, that's not okay, and set boundaries. And setting boundaries that are healthy is a very important part of being who you are. And so when you come across scenarios where someone does something that does cross a line, and you say, hey, not okay, and they either don't understand or ignore the boundary you've set, it's completely okay to remove yourself from the situation. Now, this is the part that most people get wrong. If you're truly unconditionally loving for that person, where you love that person, then you can extract yourself from the situation. You can understand that the action they did was not okay, and it went against your boundaries. But you can also still love the person, because the person hasn't changed. They just did an action that you did not expect or you were not okay with. And this is the key distinction between being someone who gives love unconditionally to others and someone who gives love with a specific slant of like, well, as long as they don't do this thing, I will love them. So I would say, and I think there's a profound sense of beauty in being able to unconditionally love others, because it means that you can live a life where, regardless of what people do, you can still love that person. And you don't have to hate other people. Like, hate just disappears if you love someone unconditionally. You can dislike an action, you can hate an action, but the person is still the same person. And it's a very profound feeling that completely shifts your perception of everything. So, try it. Try unconditionally loving something. Doesn't have to be a person. It can be a pet or something really simple. But I would say it's Valentine's Day. Try it. And it's important to understand also that when you unconditionally love someone, there's nothing that you expect from them. This is another kind of pitfall to conditional love, where it's like, okay, I'm going to send love to you, and then you're going to send love back to me, and that is the condition, right? So it's about accepting that they're a unique individual that will do things that might cross your boundaries at some point, or that will do something that you disagree on. So, being able to love someone in spite of those things. Being able to love someone knowing that maybe they won't love you back. And that's okay, because your love doesn't have a condition. It's truly a freeing thing. So, I would say, give it a shot, especially on Valentine's Day. So, All right. Thanks for watching, and I love you guys, and hope that you have a beautiful day.